Hello there everybody, What Culture Wrestling's second best dressed presenter, the first being right behind the camera there, Adam Nicholas. Adam Cleary here, live from New York City on my personal balcony, which absolutely is. Thanks again to Pod Times Square for letting us use it. And we're here to talk about WrestleMania weekend's secret meanings behind all the lovely attires all the wrestlers were wearing. Now, 23 years ago, Shawn Michaels started a tradition of wearing something elaborate, something garish, something special for the occasion. And ever since then, WWE superstars have endeavoured to do the same in their own special ways. And this year, WrestleMania 35 in New York and New Jersey was absolutely no exception. So we're going to go through the best, the worst, and all the other lovely nice things all the wrestlers have been wearing over this weekend, starting with NXT and moving through to WrestleMania, and I might even find one for Raw if you're really, really good. So, my name is Adam Cleary, and these are all the hidden meanings behind WWE WrestleMania attires. Alright, so first up we had NXT Takeover New York, which I'm going to kind of meld into one end because there wasn't really too much to say about it. No doubt you noticed that Johnny Gargano had a light-up vest and some rather familiar trunks for any fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe out there. Yes, he did come out as Iron Man. He had the Brooklyn skyline all over his dick and bum, weirdly, but the rest of it was inspired by the Marvel character of Tony Stark. If you've all seen all the films, zips around, blasts light out of his hands. He's really, really cool, and Gargano, as we know, is a big fan of comic books. But my absolute favourite by a goddamn mile, that I've loved even more than the jacket I myself am wearing, is Bianca Belair's entire ring gear. Now, we only sort of half saw it at the show itself. It wasn't until we got home we could examine in better detail that she had pictures of all of her career wins plastered over her ring gear. Now, had I noticed that at the time, I would have been sure in my tiny little black heart that she was going to win the NXT Women's Championship, but sadly, she will not be adding any photos from that match to her current costume. I really liked it. NXT always pulls it out of the bag, and these were lovely. To the show of shows itself now, and our first match was Tony Nese with his tiny knees versus the Cruiserweight Champion, Buddy Murphy. Now, the latter has been called wrestling's best kept secret because he's been putting on these incredible matches, he's been helping elevate the division, he's been doing really, really well for himself. But now, this was the biggest stage of the year, the grandest stage of them all, as they say, and he could not have been more clear with his message to his employers by wearing some very nice gear, yes, with his best kept secret logo, yes, but with best kept secret all crossed out. He's trying to say that the secret is out on Buddy Murphy. He is a bona fide star in the company now, and his costume got that across. Next up in the Women's Battle Royal, we had Sonya Deville, who, if you remember last year, had a very similar look for her attire. Basically a nice white outfit, but emblazoned with the LGBT rainbow symbol to show that she is one of WWE's first openly lesbian workers. Now, she did this last year, it looked really nice. She did it again this year, it looked really nice. It's just something she does on the big shows, and it looks really nice. Also in the Women's Battle Royal, and I don't know how deliberate this was, but it really, really tickled me, we had something of a comic book civil war going on. Now, Lana, yes, does normally dress like every day is Christmas Day, but in the Women's Rumble, she was dressed as Wonder Woman. Now, we all said at the time, somebody always does Wonder Woman for this kind of thing. It wasn't really anything out of the ordinary, but across the ring from her was Mickie James, dressed as none other than the MCU's Captain Marvel. So one of the pillars of DC's female comic characters and one of the pillars of Marvel's female comic characters, all in the same match. And I can't remember them doing the square off. They should very obviously done that. I would have popped my little nips off for, but there you are. They were both in there, both dressed like that, and I think that's really cool. Also in the Women's Battle Royal, which I've seen referred to as the China Memorial Battle Royal, even though I don't know if that's an official thing yet, but if not, then we should do that. Let's make that happen. I'm giving my 2 thumbs, however much that's worth. Ruby Riott came out with a leather jacket emblazoned in pin badges from punk bands. You've seen them before, these jackets that wear the gigs. They're covered in pin badges from punk bands, and according to her Instagram, the message she was trying to get across is that punk is not dead, which is all well and good, but don't tell Triple H that. And finally, yes, we're still in the Women's Battle Royal now. I should have really cobbled all these all together into one. It's a complete disaster, and I'm still not sure whether or not that Punk joke properly made. Get it? Because it's CM Punk. Triple H hits CM Punk. Anyway, Sarah Logan in the Women's Memorial Battle Royal there. The China Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal. She was, you may have recognised her from the video game God of War. She was appearing as the character Kratos from that game series. And according to her, her message behind that was that she is the goddess of war. She's very clever. Well done. Still on the WrestleMania pre-show now. See, I told you it's a special weekend. There's always a lot of this stuff. Kurt Hawkins, who we thought looked like a tube of toothpaste in his sort of minty green singlet attire, trying to overturn a 9,000 match losing streak. He was not, in fact, working for Aquafresh. He was instead representing the New York Jets. I'm told, I didn't know they played in that colour, but apparently he was trying to rock out the colour of his favourite football team, the Jets. The football?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, the favourite football or baseball team, delete as appropriate. He also had a little aeroplane down the side, which he's not winning any points for subtlety, but still, hey, good for him. Not even going to pretend to get remotely excited about this one. Shane McMahon, you know him, he wears that lovely white sports attire, doesn't he? The baseball thing, and he's shucking around, and he's doing the fist, he's doing all that. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but he's a bad guy now, yeah. So he came out of WrestleMania wearing all black. Like Darth Vader, I guess. I don't know. Either that or he didn't want the blood to show through his lovely, lovely white. It's just not exactly a hidden meaning, that, but I think he thought he was being clever, so hey, Shane, welcome. Here's the one you've all been waiting for, Australia's favourite tag team, the company's best worker, the Iconics! That really doesn't work with these throats, but never mind. Thank you for that. Yeah, anyway, you may have noticed they were rocking a look from none other than Sleeping Beauty. Apparently, yes, one of them had the big Maleficent headgear on, that's what that was from, and the other was rocking a pair of wings. I don't know what that's got to do with Sleeping Beauty. Flying monkeys? Is that Wizard of Oz? That's Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I don't know what the wings are about, but apparently it's all inspired by Sleeping Beauty, that's what they said. Anyway, so there, that looked really cool. It looked, I use another word for it.
Magical.
Yeah, magical. Gonna hold my hands up here, I don't actually know what the hidden meaning behind this one is, but here's the thing, right? Aleister Black came out looking like a cross between a H.G. Geiger image and Godzilla, like a reptilian waistcoat thing that he's never worn before, didn't wear a Monday Night Raw. It's not a thing that's in his wardrobe normally, so there is some kind of hidden meaning behind it. Maybe he's trying to shed his skin like a snake. Maybe he's saying he really wants to go lie down on a hot rock and just absorb sunlight through his body. I don't know, but if any of you like know him, you could ask and put it in the comments or tweet me, I don't know, something like that. Okay, so here's the best one by an absolute mile. I would have done a video on this on its own had I had the time, but you can always rely on the New Day to blow their colleagues out of the water when it comes to their ring attire, and obviously this year's WrestleMania, such a special one for them, was going to be no exception. You've seen them before, they're funny sometimes, they're clever, they're inspired by comics or artists or movies or whatever that comes to their mind, but this time, it's way, 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 way better than all of that. Their ring gear for WrestleMania 35 was inspired by the graffiti artwork of Jean-Michel Bisquet, a man who's done work on poverty, segregation, anti-colonialism, a genuine icon and an inspiration to the group, and his work made its way all over their ring gear. Kofi Kingston was crowned WWE champion wearing his artwork. It's absolutely beautiful. If you can, read up a bit on him, look at the gear in a bit more detail, because this image here, which is actually obscuring a really nice backdrop, we've done this all wrong. Anyway, read up on him. It's really good and it looks really nice. Deserves more than I can give it here, so yeah. Now, if you're ever wondering if we here at What Culture are any good at our jobs, keep in mind we've managed to get all this from the meager 60 seconds Rey Mysterio was actually on WrestleMania. Now, you've seen him before. I think it was at All In, wasn't it, where he wore the Wolverine getup. Rey Mysterio likes his comic book characters, and though not an obvious one, not somebody you might recognise immediately, his gear at WrestleMania 35 was inspired by a comic book notable. Mysterio. Like the comic book character, the baddie from the next Spider-Man film, was inspired by him. Why he didn't have the big bowl on his head full of smoke, I'll never know. Wouldn't have made his chances against Samoa Joe any worse, would it? But there you go. Mysterio was Mysterio, which is quite clever. Here you are, everybody, your main event, Word Life, Thugonomics, John Cena. Now you might be thinking, what is the hidden message here? It's just that he's been dumped and now he's on a complete spiral, and he had his silly finisher and his silly haircut and his silly time in China, and now he's just gone back to pretending he's 25. The hidden meaning here is we should help him, Adam. Surely, well, you would be wrong, my friend, because you may have noticed the video package that played before John Cena returned in his new old getup. Yes, you did. It was all baseball players, and it included none other than Babe Ruth, who every single person in the city will no doubt tell me is a big deal. And John Cena himself emerged in the baseball jersey of none other than Babe Ruth. Now, whether that was just a tribute to the city, whether it was just a clever thing he was doing, or whether he was trying to say that he is WWE's Babe Ruth, which is a sentence I don't fully comprehend, but I imagine all of our American viewers will, well, that's open to debate, but it didn't matter because he still had bars for days, and that was genuinely one of my highlights of the entire show. But there you go, John Cena either trying to make a statement saying he is Babe Ruth, or that he just likes Babe Ruth, or whatever to do. It was Babe Ruth. And finally, we have Monday Night Raw, and there wasn't really too much to go on on this. We think Seth Rollins' ring gear was a bit of a callback to his time as WWE champion, the last time he held a major title, but obviously updated for the modern era for 2019 for the fact that he's now quite popular. But other than that, we couldn't really see anything. It was either people back to their old attire or simply still wearing their WrestleMania attire. Now, we are filming this the morning immediately after Raw, and we haven't even finished our first coffees yet, as you might be able to tell. So if you've spotted anything from Raw, please do get that in the comments, because we haven't quite been able to watch it back and pick any of that out yet. Be very interested to hear if you saw anything. Anyway, though, I'm going to stand back in the middle because the image should have gone now. There we go. Am I centre? Good, great. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us again from my personal roof terrace, kindly provided by Pond Times Square here in New York City. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hidden Meanings Attires video, Hidden Attires Meanings video. In case you're wondering what this is about, nothing. Just means I'm a snappy guy. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for watching. I've, of course, been Adam Cleary, and I'll see you soon.